In the mid-1990s, Manila buzzed with optimism and a headline that electrified the nation: Hornets for the Philippines. The Philippine Air Force was reportedly on the verge of acquiring the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet. This wasn't just a military deal, it was a symbol of national ambition. For a country eager to modernize, the news felt like a leap into the future. The Hornet promised to transform the Philippines' air defense, giving it one of the world's most advanced fighter jets. Coffee shops and newsrooms alike buzzed with talk of afterburners and supersonic speeds. Even those who'd never seen a fighter jet imagined these sleek machines streaking across the archipelago. The story ignited national pride and hope. For Air Force pilots, the prospect of flying the FA-18 was a dream come true. They were ready to move on from outdated jets and embrace cutting-edge technology. In ready rooms, pilots pored over the Hornet's specs, envisioning a new era of capability. The Hornet meant respect, power, and a real chance to defend the nation's vast maritime borders. The buzz reached Washington and beyond, signaling a new chapter in U.S.-Philippine relations. The world watched as the Philippines prepared for a historic leap forward. The stage was set for a transformation, if only the dream could become reality. The FA-18 Hornet was more than hardware, it was a statement of intent. In the 1990s, the Philippines was rising as an Asian tiger cub economy, eager to shed its old image. Acquiring the Hornet signaled a commitment to sovereignty and regional leadership. Its iconic design projected strength and modernity, rallying the nation behind a shared vision. But the Hornet wasn't just for show. As a multi-role fighter, it could defend airspace, strike ground targets, and patrol the sprawling archipelago. For a nation of over 7,000 islands, this versatility was essential. The Hornet promised a credible deterrent and a leap in capability. Filipinos saw the jet as a reflection of their own aspirations for progress and security. The decision to pursue the FA-18 also aligned the Philippines with U.S. military standards, deepening strategic ties. Interoperability with allies would become seamless, strengthening joint operations. The Hornet was a bridge to a modern, secure future. It was more than a purchase, it was an investment in national pride and partnership. Defending the Philippines' vast archipelago is a monumental challenge. With one of the world's longest coastlines and vital sea lanes, air power is essential. Modernizing the Air Force wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity for national security. Without credible air defense, borders are porous, and sovereignty is at risk. The country faced threats from illegal fishing, smuggling, and territorial disputes. Advanced jets would serve as both shield and deterrent, sending a clear message to would-be intruders. But air power's value extended beyond combat. In a disaster-prone nation, modern aircraft are lifelines for rescue and relief. A capable air force supports nation-building, connecting islands, and securing commerce. For the Philippines, investing in air power was investing in stability and growth. The Hornet dream was tied to a vision of a secure, prosperous future. The stakes were higher than ever. While the nation dreamed of Hornets, its pilots flew relics, the Northrop F-5 Freedom Fighters. These jets, veterans of the Vietnam era, were hopelessly outdated by the 1990s. Their avionics were primitive, engines worn, and airframes exhausted. Maintenance crews worked miracles. But the F-5s were no match for modern threats. The urgency to replace them was critical. Lacking modern radar and missiles, pilots flew at a dangerous disadvantage. The situation was dire. Defending the country with obsolete jets was a matter of life and death. Spare parts were scarce, and cannibalizing grounded planes became routine. Only a handful of F-5s were flyable at any time, draining resources for little return. The Air Force was trapped in a downward spiral, spending more to keep less in the air. Retiring the F-5s without a replacement would leave the skies undefended. For the first time in decades, the Philippines risked having no supersonic interceptors. The nation's vulnerability was stark, and the need for a new fighter was urgent. The twilight of the F-5s cast a long shadow over national security. The Hornet represented hope for a way out. The Philippine Air Force launched a rigorous search for a new fighter. Options included the F-16, Mirage 2000, and Israeli Kfir, but the FA-18 Hornet quickly stood out. Its twin engines offered safety for missions over water, a crucial factor for an island nation. The Hornet's multi-role design excelled in both air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. Its robust, carrier-capable airframe was ideal for the Philippines' challenging conditions. State-of-the-art radar and a wide array of precision weapons made it a formidable choice. The evaluation team unanimously recommended the Hornet. Leadership approved the Philippines would stake its air defense future on the FA-18. The decision was celebrated by analysts and Air Force personnel alike. The Hornet was the complete package, capable, survivable, and versatile. The nation was ready for a new era in air defense. The long search had yielded a clear winner. All that remained was to make the dream a reality. The countdown to transformation had begun. The FA-18 deal was more than a purchase. It was a strategic partnership with the United States. The package included training, spare parts, and technical support, ensuring long-term capability. Philippine pilots would train alongside Americans, building real interoperability. Joint exercises would become seamless, transforming the alliance into a true partnership. The U.S. offered favorable financing, making the acquisition of 24 Hornets feasible. Modern weapons and support systems were part of the deal, giving the Philippines a credible precision strike capability. The strengthened alliance promised regional stability and deterrence. The Hornets symbolized American commitment and Philippine resolve. The deal was a win-win, reinforcing security in the Asia-Pacific. For the Philippines, it was a chance to finally secure its skies. The future looked brighter than ever. Just as the Hornet dream neared reality, the Asian financial crisis struck in 1997. The peso collapsed, investment vanished, and the government faced a budget emergency. The FA-18 deal, once within reach, became an impossible luxury. Basic services took priority. Military modernization was shelved. The government agonized but had no choice. National survival came first. In late 1997, the Philippines informed the U.S. it could not proceed. The news devastated the Air Force and dashed national hopes. The cancellation marked a turning point. Momentum for modernization was lost. The comprehensive package and partnership vanished overnight. The nation's focus shifted to economic recovery. Headlines about Hornets faded, replaced by stories of hardship. The dream of a modern Air Force was left in ruins. The storm had claimed more than just jets. It claimed a vision for the future. The fallout was immediate and severe. The aging F-5s, meant to be replaced, limped on until they were finally retired in 2005. For the first time in decades, the Philippines had no fighter jets. Morale plummeted. Many top pilots left for commercial airlines. The Air Force suffered a brain drain that would take years to recover from. The nation's air defense was reduced to trainers and helicopters. A stark decline. Vulnerability increased. Foreign intrusions and illegal fishing surged. The country's position in territorial disputes weakened. National pride took a heavy blow. The Air Force focused on internal security, but the core mission of air defense was left unfulfilled. The ghost of the FA-18 deal haunted the institution. It became a symbol of lost opportunity and what might have been. The long, quiet years were marked by vulnerability and regret. The dream deferred became a lesson in the cost of missed chances. The skies remained silent, waiting for a new beginning. The FA-18 story is a lesson in balancing ambition with reality. The dream was bold, but built on fragile economic assumptions. When crisis hit, the plan collapsed. The key lesson: national security must be resilient and adaptable. A single expensive solution is risky. Modernization requires flexibility. If the Hornet deal had succeeded, the Philippines might have been a stronger regional player. Instead, the nation endured years of vulnerability. Today, the Air Force is rebuilding with a pragmatic, incremental approach. The FA-50PH jets from South Korea restored supersonic capability and trained a new generation of pilots. The focus is now on sustainability and gradual progress. The search for a true multirole fighter continues, guided by hard-earned realism. The ghost of the Hornet reminds the nation that modernization is a marathon, not a sprint. The story endures, a cautionary tale and a beacon for the future.